Alright, what is up, Curiosity crew? We got our hands on a truck. This is a 2023 GMC Sierra SLT. It's the 1500. I picked this up this morning from our good friends at Yoder Chevrolet. And the reason why I have my hands on this is that we are doing an article about what makes a luxury car luxurious in the modern era. But that's going to be for another video, and that's what I'm taking this out tomorrow for. But I figured while I have it today, I might as well ask whether or not you can daily drive a 2023 GMC Sierra SLT. So let's start off with some general information about this truck. It is the crew cab, which also means it has 4 doors, and it's got the short bed. The engine that is powering this is the 5.3 liter 8-cylinder. It's also called the Ecotec. The 5.3 liter puts out about 355 horsepower at 5,600 RPM. The torque is 383 pound-feet at 4,100 RPM. And I gotta say, that torque number feels a little low in my opinion. This thing feels like it tosses you back quite a bit in the seat, more than I was expecting. The cool thing about the GMC Sierra, and it's kind of always been this way, they really like to give you a ton of different options when it comes to engine type and options and interior comfort, towing capacity, and so on. So the towing capacity for this one is up to 13,000 pounds if you have the upgraded trailering option. For the God damn, I messed it up again. For the fuel economy, the MPGs, we're looking at 16 city and 20 highway. Right now we're averaging about 19.1. Hey, let's go ahead and talk about driving experience. I've only had my hands on this since this morning, and I've been pretty pleasantly surprised by it. It absorbs bumps extremely well. Sure, you still get a little bit of the chatter, I suppose is what you would call it, like suspension chatter if you go over a pretty gnarly bump. But I would expect that in a truck like this. One thing I have noticed is that even if it is a pretty intense bump, this thing doesn't have the rear end kick out on you or try to go diagonal at all. A lot of times with trucks, I've found that the brake pedal feel tends to be a bit soft to the point where you can kind of panic and you feel like you need to mash on the brake in order to stop the vehicle. But with this one, it's very natural. I'm actually quite happy with how the brake pedal feels. The acceleration and how the gas pedal feels, very straightforward, very responsive, and it gets you up to speed perfectly fine with the V8. You don't have any issues merging or anything like that, which is nice. The steering feels extremely direct. I will say, with this being a modern full-size pickup, America really likes their big trucks, and this is definitely a big truck in my opinion. The size of it was a little bit intimidating because I didn't quite know where my corners were and so forth, so I was navigating around parking lots extremely slow, but that's just something to get used to over time. She big. The road noise in here is extremely quiet. I think they have some kind of a premium sound deadening in here. Not a whole lot of wind noise either, which is actually very impressive for a truck. As far as visibility goes, this thing has it in spades. It's super easy to see what's around you. You've got giant mirrors on the side. Now this one also did come optioned with the X31 off-road package. It's got hill descent control, which is very cool. As you guys know, I use my truck all the time for, well, I shouldn't say all the time, pretty much any chance that I can get. I use it for off-roading and camping and stuff, so this would be nice to have, especially here in Colorado. Now, as many long-term viewers know, Jake, another co-editor with Shift Colorado, he is known as the king of cup holders, while I am known as the queen of armrests. And I must say, the armrests in this are absolutely stunning and truly wonderful. Just with this position that I'm in right now, it makes it extremely easy to road trip this car for long periods of time, because you can just kind of sit in it like a big old sofa chair. And I love that, quite frankly. But yeah, you know, going around turns and everything, you feel the body moving and shifting on you a little bit, but again, that's to be expected in a truck. So I think if you're going into the driving experience expecting just kind of a traditional and pretty luxurious truck, you're not going to be disappointed with this. The transmission that this is equipped with is a 10-speed automatic, so you don't really feel any of the shifts, and that's perfectly fine in a vehicle like this. It's not like we're in a sports car or something like that, where we need visceral experience. It does have independent front suspension and a solid rear axle, which is definitely what you want in a setting like this. I might be missing it, but I don't think this one has blind spot monitors. Not that it's that big of a deal, but when you have a vehicle as large as this, it is kind of nice to have. I'm sure that's an option that you can equip this with. So I think that covers the driving experience overall for this truck. No complaints from me at all. So one thing that can impact the driving experience, if done poorly, is your tech and safety. So on the safety front, this pretty much has all of the bells and whistles that you usually like to see in a modern car. You've got the lane departure warnings. You've also got it to where it'll kind of keep you in your lane as well. It's like the lane tracing assist. What I really like about this, and what I really liked about the Toyota Prius, is that these nannies aren't trying to intrude. It's not any kind of jerking action. It's not any kind of loud alarms going off constantly. This is just very natural, easy to let them do their job and not let them encroach on your driving style. So for instance, I've had the lane tracing assist on, so it keeps me in my lane, and tested it, and it just kind of gives you a little tiny little nudge back into the lane. It's not like the VW ID Buzz where it likes to jerk you around like crazy. So big win in my book. Tech nannies are not being too particular. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a quick test. Just gonna go over the line a tiny bit. See how it does that? Just a little, tiny little nudge. That's perfect. Exactly what you want. And of course, on the safety side, this does have the collision avoidance systems installed. So that way if somebody brakes in front of you and you're riding a little bit too close, it will do that emergency braking for you, which is always nice. I think a lot of people need that. It also has like a following distance indicator, so it lets you know if you're too close, and keeps an eye out for pedestrians as well, because we don't want to run over pedestrians. I know you guys like to do that. It's a really bad habit. You should knock it off. Shame. See, that was some heavy braking right there. Nice and easy. Nothing too jerky. For the tech in this car, we do have a pretty large screen up here. It's designed pretty nicely, actually. I like it a lot. But it's a 13.4-inch screen. Pretty easy to see what's going on. It's pretty intuitive to use. I connected my phone, no problem. Sound system sounds great. The navigation system is just like a Google Maps extension, which is perfect. Very straightforward to use that. Unless you're an Apple Maps user. Ugh. Disgusting. Disgusting! Of course it has Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. The gauge cluster in front of me here, it's a 12.3-inch, nice and large. I will say there is a lot of information on there. I think you can change the layout. Yep, you can choose from 4 different dash layouts. I'm just going to try the clean option. Yeah, the clean option is nice. It just gives you the miles per hour, and that's really about it. That screen also does pick up on road signs. It's not the most accurate, but I do appreciate it. So it like lets you know what the speed limit is. Oh yeah, there we go. Classic is way better. The classic view shows you like your speed as well as the RPMs, but it does have a lot of other information on there. What's interesting here is that it does actually show your oil pressure, how many volts you're using, and then of course your water temp as well as your gas gauge. I don't know of too many new cars that actually have the volt reading as well as the oil pressure, so I'm here for it. Some of these do come equipped with wireless phone charging. It's got a really good backup camera, which I appreciate greatly in a vehicle as large and long as this. makes parking and backing up into spots or parallel parking an absolute breeze. It's a really good quality camera, honestly. And this does have a Wi-Fi hotspot capability, which is always helpful. But yeah, that covers the tech and safety portion. Overall, very good experience, no complaints. It's almost like GMC's been making the Sierra for ages. Oh yeah, they do have flappy paddles on this as well. And I actually really enjoy the flappy paddles on modern cars, especially in this truck application. Not necessarily because it like makes it more engaging to drive or something like that. It's more for hills. So like if I'm going to be taking this up into the mountains and I'm going down hills, I want to be able to downshift and slow myself down, assuming the transmission functions like that without using my brakes. And of course this has 4 low, 4 high, etc. So for any kind of snow or inclement weather, or if you're taking it off-roading, it's perfect for it. But yes, I think that covers the tech and safety portion. Let's talk about interior design, man. This thing in here is surprisingly plush. I shouldn't be that surprised because it is the SLT. I think the only model that outdoes this is technically the Denali. But yeah, the SLT is just fine. I do like the wood finish that they have in certain parts of this truck. It's like a really nice dark wood, kind of reminds me of like a walnut. And then the interior itself, the color is a jet black with perforated leather seats. And while the headliner isn't black like these seats, it's kind of like a dark gray, so there's a little bit of contrast there, but I'm glad that they kept the colors dark and didn't go with like a tan headliner. That's always a common complaint of mine, so I'm going to continue complaining about that. This does have heated and ventilated seats, so for Colorado drivers, obviously heated seats are wonderful to have in the winter, and then during the summer when it gets super hot, those ventilated seats are an absolute godsend. We also have a heated steering wheel. But yeah, the materials in here feel very good, just very solid. I'm not getting a bunch of like creaking or anything like that, so no complaints from me there. The seats themselves do have a very strong lumbar support, which is greatly appreciated by me. And the seats are very comfortable in general. The steering wheel feels nice in the hands. It's not overly complex. The steering wheel's also not like ungodly thick to where you have to Lego hand the damn thing. There's tons of headroom. The rear seats have a lot of leg room back there. Climate control was a little confusing to start with. I don't know why I keep feeling like I'm losing track of the fan speed location. Like I've had a few moments where I kind of panic slightly. Which I don't know why I'm panicking about turning up the fan speed. It's like, it's okay, Marty. Tons of cargo space in here, whether you're using the rear seats or the short bed. I will say I prefer longer beds just because I like to sleep in the bed of trucks. But I mean, if I had to, I could pretty easily sleep in the rear seats of this thing. Of course, that depends on how tall you are. But other than that, the buttons are very straightforward to use, to find, to adjust. There might be a way to get to this in the settings, but I'm not going to do it when I'm driving. I don't know if there's a way to change the volume of your radio using your steering wheel buttons. That's something I generally like to have, and to be able to like skip songs, I like to have that up here too. Instead, you have this little knob right here where you adjust it, kind of old school. But yeah, the door card design is just very classic looking. I actually feel like this truck's gonna age pretty well. I do like the overall layout. It feels utilitarian, but also fancy and kind of luxurious. One thing I do kind of miss is some ambient lighting. I am sad to not have that. Taking it on a little bit of a dirt road here into a parking lot where I usually like to film things. Yeah, it's doing fine. The shifter itself is pretty chunky, but very easy to get used to. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of the design, but I like the functionality of it quite a bit. Very intuitive. Something that's kind of cool is that there's this rear bench seat here. It has storage compartments. It's It's kind of underneath the seat. It's got the all-weather floor mats, which you'll definitely need with this. The center console, let's see if I can figure it out. There we go, I figured it out. Center console has plenty of room in here. It's got this little like tray that comes with it. I guess that makes sense because you don't want to always be like reaching all the way down here to pick up something. You might just want to have it on the top, easy to access when you're driving. Oh, that's cool. It's actually got a power outlet right here in the center console, USB, USB-C. Yeah, plenty of room there. Tons of cup holders. Like, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plenty of rooms to hold that big gulp you've been wanting to get, or that icy. But yeah, the dash itself is pretty short. You can still see like that hood extending past it, but it's not impeding in any way. I do like the chrome bits that they have in here. I'm always a sucker for shiny materials on the interior, so it gives it a pretty nice premium feel. The stitching looks really nice, consistent. I think that about covers the interior design. Again, not really that many complaints from me. I do wish that these seats had a little bit more knee support, and I promise this time it's not like the GX where I just didn't fiddle around with the seat controls enough. This does not have that kind of extender to support your thighs and your knees, so just something to keep in mind there. If you're going on a longer road trip, you might get a little bit of a gas pedal knee. But let's check out the exterior design. I actually think this is a pretty good looking truck for a modern day design. A couple other miscellaneous things that I forgot to bring up is that, yeah, the climate control just very easy to use for the most part, easy to turn up and down the temp, but for some reason I just like always kept on forgetting that this is here. Don't know why, but that's how you control the climate control there. And then you've got a lot of different little compartments, different sizes, which is good. We even got like a whole pocket on this side, which is nice. So this truck has a really nice paint coat. It's called Pacific Blue Metallic. It's like a dark blue, got some wonderful flake in there. It looks incredible in the sun. Pretty understated. I like it a lot. Throughout the exterior, it's got a bunch of chrome bits, which I'm definitely a fan of. They're very shiny, gives it a very elegant look and a very upscale feel. Coming around to the back here, kind of a cool design, as well as a very functional aspect, is that these corners have these little steps, and as a truck owner you're going to be stepping up there all the time to get stuff out of the bed, so it's helpful to have those. And I will say I do like how this has the exhaust tips kind of built in with the bumper. The exhaust tips are also chrome, looks very pleasing, very well put together. And then of course you have the side steps here. Those are not powered or anything like that. They don't fold out, but they just look good. They're nice and long, very, very sturdy. The overall profile of the truck is just very standard, very classic. Looks good. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, and it really caught my eye, are these wheels. These are premium wheels. They've got a really cool design to them where it's like a shiny silver as well as kind of a gray in there as well. It's a good contrast, fits the truck extremely well. And these are some beefy Bridgestone tires that they have on here. Plenty of good grip on there. And the overall design of the tire looks nice on the truck too. Coming around to the front of the vehicle, a lot of modern trucks and SUVs have grills that are just like way too bombastic and kind of intense. This one's just very classic. A couple of chrome lines on there, good to go. Headlights are nice and simple. The LED lighting on those headlights I like a lot. Very good design. And you've also got some small little fog lamps at the bottom of the bumper. The mirrors are pretty cool, actually. They have a turn signal light on the outside, and then it's kind of split with like a chrome finish on the top and then a black finish on the bottom. And then check this out. This is kind of cool. It's like almost a split tailgate. So you can just kind of pop this guy down. It's got the soft open, which is so nice. Now the bed liner itself seems like it's very high quality, super thick on there. Doesn't seem like it's gonna chip for a very, very long time. And then we have another outlet back here. I just noticed, it's almost got like a little wing right here, like a little spoiler. Adorable. It also has this nice chrome trim around the windows, as you can see right here. Those are pretty nice, just kind of gives it an extra dimension from a design perspective, so I'm all for it. As far as the taillights go, kind of a very traditional truck style. Of course, it's got some very nice LEDs in there, so overall, solid design. There's also a few black accents here and there just to add some extra contrast. Again, good design choice, good looking truck overall. This 5.3 has been around in different variations for quite a long time now. For the most part, I've seen reports that it's very reliable, pretty infrequent to repair, but it is a 2023 model, so again, it's fairly new. This one has 31,000 miles on it, so you know, we'll have to see how these trucks age and how they do. From what I understand, there's still going to be some oil consumption issues as well as some lifter issues depending on the engine that you go with, but overall it seems like it's got a very good reputation, which is great. You know, that's what you want in a new car, so you want the thing to last. These are available in a pretty wide range. Like, you can get started with these in the 30s, brand new, which is pretty surprising. It's upper 30s. For a modern truck that's actually got decent capabilities, I feel like that's quite the bang for the buck. But, you know, an SLT like this usually will start running you in the 50s for the newer models, and then if you get to Denali and above that, that's when you start looking at the pricey boys in like the 80,000 range. So a lot of different options to choose from, which is good. They cater to a wide demographic. So yeah, overall it's pretty solid. Can you daily drive a 2023 Sierra SLT? And the answer is, of course you can. If you're worried about miles per gallon, this might not be the best car for you, but plenty of clearance, plenty of turning radius, it actually turns pretty sharp, and interior's comfy place to be, it's reliable, the tech's easy to figure out. Overall, just a very pleasant experience with this car. So, if you guys are looking to pick up a truck like this, whether it's used or new, definitely check out Yoder Chevrolet. If you're in Colorado, they can absolutely hook you up. They got a lot of good variety of available vehicles there, so definitely check them out. They're great people, very awesome to communicate with and work with. But with all that being said, guys, I appreciate you watching. I upload every single Sunday, and I will see you in the next one.